Okay. Welcome in everybody to another amazing race here in the League to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Today we've got zelgadissan versus Toplife. This is Game 3, Group F, winners bracket finals. There, winner bracket, whatever. You can tell I'm already pretty hyped for this match because I'm stumbling over my words in the first 2 seconds. My name's Dazed Cloud, and I'm joined in the booth today again by the lovely Clear Mouse. How you doing there?
Days, I am awesome. I am excited. Dude, as you said, game 3, I can definitely tell. We're both really excited to see this. Two awesome runners fighting, I guess, for their secured place in brackets. No one really wants to go up against Zelga or Toplife, so it's actually it's going to be a very, very difficult, but also really exciting race to watch.
100%. We're sitting here looking at this and just kind of thinking, okay, one of these two is going to win this thing, and then they get to move out of this incredibly difficult group. The other one is going to wait for the game immediately following this game between Ninjembro and Schulzer to see who they're going to meet in the next group there. And a quick look on Toplife's side, he gives us a green pendant over on Eastern Palace, a 5/6 crystal up on Tower of Hera, and another crystal, just a regular crystal, over there on Desert Palace today.
Alright, so I guess we're going to hope maybe that we're not going to see a bow start, because what are you going to do when there's a pendant Eastern and you get the bow immediately? But not a problem today. We're going to get our standard Uncle Bomb starts.
Yeah, that's well, I mean that's good and awkward, and good and awkward all in the same
Everything, yeah. Yeah, everything wrapped up in one happy, weird, awkward package.
Yeah, so I mean, bomb start, it kind of, if you do it well, and I kind of expect that both of these guys with their skill level will do it pretty well, means that you're going to be able to not have to worry about bombs for when you get back to the back of escape. Now, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in that time.
Yeah. It's so bombs arguably is probably one of the most resource starts, just because when you start with like the bow and arrow, you get 30 shots, and that's in theory supposed to be more than sufficient. Bombs, on the other hand, they, you actually see Zelga putting off some pretty cool strats, but unfortunately, it looks like the guard did not bomb ricochet off of in the direction that he wanted. So, in the ideal case, of course, you need 5 bombs to get through escape. That's of course assuming that you land all 5 of your bomb shots. And then you also want to keep up for the back of the escape. But, that being said, we actually just kind of saw Zelga and Toplife not get very cooperative blue guards, so they kind of had to spend an extra bomb in order to take it down.
Yeah, kind of thinking about it, I can't think of a worse weapon to start with in a game 3 like this.
That's
your
true.
nerves are already going to be running, and now you've got to try to hit bombs on each of these guards here. So,
yeah,
nice strat there from Zelga. I like that room right there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Zelga probably the first room, maybe nerves kind of got to him in this case, but both Zelga and Toplife pulled up really nice bomb strats in order to get the second blue key guard.
Yeah, definitely. That is really quite nice there from both sides. Is this one green guard is going to be kind of a butt and chase Zelga into the cell there.
That's right. See, I let you do all the talking when Zelga is in Zelda's cell, so there's no chance of confusion on my part.
It all works out there. But okay, so interestingly enough, we've both gotten the small key and the map in the front of the front 3 chests of escape, which means that everything from this point on are going to be items of some sort. Whether they're useful or not, hey, we'll find out, but we're gonna have to check that in just a moment.
Oh yeah, and actually, for those of you who actually didn't get a chance to watch game 2, with some very minor spoiler Actually, the Zelga and Topplife actually managed to get boots. I think in one of the first 4 checks of escape or something like that. So they were actually able to not only move fast through this whole entire sequence, they actually didn't need any more bombs because you can actually just bonk open the wall to get to all the items at the back of the escape. Certainly hoping that bombs in this case are going to pay off for them, so maybe they're going to find something good either in Dark Cross or of course the back of the escape. There's 3 more items.
Yeah, well, Zelga is on the way over there as we speak. There, he's making his way into the main throne room area in just a moment here. One thing is you see a lot of runners, they try to go for like a like around a 6-minute escape sequence here, but Bombs kind of throws a kink into that there because it's difficult.
Oh yeah,
it's really difficult.
Yeah, we did see actually some probably some very well established strats with bombs in order to kill the 2 blue key guards. Coming up here very shortly is going to be trying to get a key rat with bombs, and rats don't really move in the direction that you ever want them to.
I mean, yeah, no, very many runners kind of determine this as the final boss of this entire section here, because that key rat, if you're trying to get him with bombs, there's a couple of ways you can do it. A lot of people just pick up a bomb and kind of kamikaze themselves right at the rat, and some people will just drop a bomb immediately and then try to just throw it over there. Now Zelga, very nicely done, gets that rat. He's still got 3 bombs, so he'll be able to check escape. Toplife's going to go for his method here. I think it's the one on the top, but either way, he got it.
Oh yeah, and actually, given the fact that bombs actually do 1 heart of damage, it's actually a pretty fortunate thing that both runners end up having enough health to be able to kind of take some damage from the bomb in case they needed to kind of get up and close and personal.
Find a couple of bombs and a little bit of cash in the back of escape here. So I mean, still no interesting items to speak of, but
yeah.
I mean, a couple more bombs for Kakariko is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I mean, at least they got some amount of resource replenishment, and of course, getting a couple extra bombs going into Kakariko. Man, that sword would have been pretty useful, all throughout the escape sequence. Good thing we found it right after we finished everything. That was difficult.
That's a bit of a tease right there. It just goes, all right, so after doing all of this really kind of technical bomb throwing and stuff like that, all right, here you go, here's your sword.
Yeah. It's I guess you probably know a thing or 2 about this game. We'll throw you a bone here or something.
All right, so we're going to go into the kind of Lost Woods area here. 2 checks in here on the mushroom spot and in that drop down. Also a quick tree pull there from Zelga. Finds out our tier 2 tree pull today is just going to be some hearts. Finds a couple more bombs at the mushroom spot. So yeah, we're going to take that, of course.
Yeah, especially early on, you're definitely not going to say no to any type of resources, especially bombs, where we also, saw both runners on how. Okay, so speaking of more bombs, I guess we're all set for Kakariko. Basically, this is like the Uncle's Lost Woods, right? He gave us 10 bombs. Lost Woods pretty much gave us the rest.
They really, really want to make sure that you have everything you need to go ahead and bomb open those 3 places in Kakariko.
That's right. And of course, right, just in case our runners, for whatever reason, end up missing a bomb or 2, they've got plenty of extras to spare.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we come down here into the Blind's basement, find out that there's probably 2 more packs of bombs down here, just because the game likes throwing them in bunches there. Man, it's kind of crazy here. So what do we got down here? Zelga shows us we're going to start off with 20 rupees. It's 300 rupees, which is kind of nice. Plus the
more bombs
I called, and a piece of heart.
Okay, so I guess outside of that 300 rupees, which of course is going to be more than enough money to pay off all of our shopping excursions here in Kakariko, which is the bottle vendor, not very much else to speak of.
Yeah,
we do have the fighter shield, I guess.
I mean, that's nice. I mean, I gotta ask you though, Clear Mouse. I think I asked this exact same question in game 2. Where'd the items go?
Yeah, not in Kakariko, right? The game, just like they give us items in probably the most inconvenient times, like here are a bunch of bombs. Oh, well, never mind. We just found our glove in the bottom of the well.
Okay, I mean that
That's
counts as
pretty
something
useful.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we can do certain things with that. Nothing too much. There's puts a Zora into logic, and if we want to sequence break Death Mountain, we can. Powder is a nice
Oh, yeah.
safety to have for sure.
Now, of course, we're gonna really hope to get a hammer so we can check Magic Bat immediately. That would be pretty awesome.
That would be fantastic, but we'll see if the game is actually going to be that nice to us today or not, as we're going to blow open the third of our bombable walls here in the chicken hut, run back and find out that it's just the mitts.
Whoa, okay. That's ridiculously fast. Well, so we do have Dark World access now, actually conveniently located right above Kakariko Village. We don't have a Moon Pearl in order to stay in our current Phoenix Wright or Yoshi form, so we're gonna have to find something else before we can actually really do anything in the Dark World. And maybe, for these runners, it's they're only on 4 hearts. They're probably not gonna complain at this point if the Moon Pearl doesn't show up anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, you want to go into the Dark World with 4 hearts and a fighter sword right now. Hey, you be my guest. Library is nothing. As we saw our first of the green 20. We probably should mention at some point here that this is a standard hard like all of the rest of the tournament here, which means as we started off, we did see a hook shot on the
oh yeah, this time, thank you, Topplife and Zelga. Oh, Topplife kind of doing a double take. Wanted to save and quit. But this time, so like game 2, actually, we actually had a little bit of trouble seeing what was on Lumberjack, which happened to be the hook shot. Good thing. Thank you, Zelga and Topplife, for both, giving us a very clear picture in this case that this is a very much required item and no Aghanim so far.
Yeah, so we're off to this now. This might give you a bigger reason to go ahead and go up that mountain as soon as you can. It depends, where do you believe that Moon Pearl is going to be? You think it's going to be South Shore, or do you feel like it might be up the mountain? If it's up the mountain, there are a ton of checks there with those mitts plus that hook shot to go and look at. But looks like Zelga is deciding we're going to go south, and yep, Toplife's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and so of course playing against Toplife, playing against Zelga, these are two very excellently skilled runners. Maybe I don't know if they have a specific strategy going to game 3. If they want to try and sequence break more things, if they want to try and maybe stay within logic. Of course, South Shore is 100% in logic. We got a lot of checks here, like in the Moldorm Cave, Ice Rod Cave. Of course, Zora himself. Going up the mountain does actually yield a lot of checks, as you said, Days. We're gonna need that lamp in order to put everything back into logic. Or a flute.
As I've said many times before, logic is merely a suggestion.
That's exactly right.
But no, you're 100% right there. The game does not expect us to go there right now. Instead, we're gonna head over to Mini Moldorm Cave. Be very glad that we have the hook shot.
Oh yeah.
5 more checks out of here.
I can't believe Zelga and Toplife turned down those bombs in the bottom of the Sunken Treasure. I mean, it's like they didn't get enough bombs or something from Kakariko.
They're probably going to regret that here pretty soon. There's the lamp to now put the mountain into lock.
Yeah.
And a shovel. It's not a place you want to find a shovel, or not a time that you want a shovel, really.
Oh, do we have a bit of divergence already? All right, so Toplife is going to opt to skip, looks like Ice Rod Cave. No boots, no flutes, nothing really, that's mobility centric in order to kind of get him to Ice Rod Cave a bit faster. Though Zelga, on the other hand, looks like he's going to be a bit more thorough and give us a check here. Toplife probably is also thinking, you know what, Ice Rod Cave is 1 check. I've got the mountain, which has like 12 checks or something like that. That's exactly what I'm gonna go for. So, man, Zelga. Okay. Yeah, that was
a bit close.
Zelga demonstrating that the crabs do 2 hearts of damage. That is really a terrible place. Probably one of the worst overworld places to die. So really glad that he did not have an unfortunate fate occur to him. Looks like just 10 arrows though, so no harm, no done.
And as in game 2, we got a quick lumberjack check, and I have no idea.
I also did not see what was there.
I could not see it there. So it looks like Top Life going to save a little bit of time there, not going to Ice Rod Cave. Maybe we'll never head back over there. He's probably kind of hoping that he finds a flute if he needs to go check it then, or maybe he'll route it in with some flipper checks if those show up at any point today. Either way, we are headed up the mountain 100% in logic. With Top Life, I wouldn't be 100% surprised to see him immediately, once he gets the old man, to go immediately to Paradox Cave and maybe just kind of skip the climb up to Spectacle Rock. That's kind of his MO after a point.
Okay, that would be okay. So let's see if Top Life decides to kind of go with what you predicted. Looks like. All right, yeah. This actually might be a bit of a divergence because I think Zelda typically tries to go off Spectacle Rock first before kind of hopping down. So we are actually going to get some nice checks. They both need to survive Death Mountain, though. There's a reason why it's called Death Mountain. All of these boulders and dead rocks, they all do 1 heart of damage apiece, and they're not predictable nor friendly.
Oh, 100%. You come up here at your own risk there when you've got 4 hearts, because there's times where there's nothing you can do. You're just going to get hit, and that was something.
Was that a book? That's what it looked like.
It looked like a book to me. It looked like a book to me, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, we're getting book.
Yeah, we're going to get visual confirmation on Zelga's side, because whatever it is important enough for him to pick up, which of course it is actually in fact the book. So it's actually, well, could be convenient, could not, because there is an Ether tablet that we can at least check to see what the contents are, but we can't actually access it on the mountain quite yet. We're going to have to need a hammer or a mirror in order to see it first.
Right, now, I'm kind of wondering exactly. It would be a bit of a play, but I'm wondering, now that you've got everything that you want for, say, like, for Super Bunny Cave, would either of these guys kind of make that kind of gambly
wow,
play there
interesting.
to go through Super Bunny Cave early?
I wouldn't put it past either of them, but because this is a game 3, right? This is pretty much, they're a ticket into bracket, so maybe, they feel like they need to kind of make a play here.
You see, the thing that I'm wondering is it's not a fast check. If you have mirror, it's a much faster check. But with neither of these guys currently having mirror, I don't necessarily expect them to do that here. Top Life gets his thing and immediately saves a quit, so maybe perhaps it is that book on the mountain is what we're looking for, and Top Life's going to be skipping that for a minute.
Yeah, so of course the book in the short term does give us desert access. We don't really have anything to kind of run over there, and of course, deserts could be boost locked, so it's not quite an appealing location to kind of go to. However, this game doesn't seem to often care about what is convenient for you versus what where the game decides to put the next piece of progression.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so Zelga is going to go ahead. He's going to do Spiral Cave, and I kind of expect him to save and quit immediately out of that as well. Top Life is going to give us our first look over here at Sashirala's. 3 items in the back of this area. Now, with Eastern being a pendant, that might be a reason that he goes in here, as we get fat lot of nothing.
Wow. So many checks, besides the kind of those 2 gloves, and I guess like the race game giving us the hook shot. We have checked so many other locations, high density ones, and this really just yielded nothing.
Yeah, I'm very side-eye suspiciously looking at that book right now.
Yeah, and in fact, the fact that Top Life, didn't end up getting it from Spectacle Rock, we actually are probably going to see quite a bit of divergence, at least in the short term. Looks like Zelga, starting from his house, is going to immediately take that book and try and chase what is inside Desert Palace.
See, I know Top Life's thinking on kind of skipping Spectacle Rock there. You want to go back there when you have a mirror. You want to go back there or you want to go back there when you can clear Spike Cave or something like that. You want to kind of leave yourself more than one check, because if you come back with multiple things, you're more likely to come back. The problem with that being if there's something in the cave,
Oh yeah.
then you feel real bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those feelings where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna save Ice Rock Cave until I get the boots or the flute, and then it happens to be like the boots or the flute inside Ice Rock Cave. It's like, well.
Now, it's possible here that we're looking at a clear of Desert Palace, depending on what is on the torch here in the next screen or two. But we'll find out in just a second as Zelga's going to run back here. This room here, I believe it's the map room, will tell us real fast what is the situation. That's the moon portal.
That is, yes, that's pretty important. Zelga definitely made the right call. That book is really important at this point because I'm not sure if we're going to get that moon pearl any other way. It does actually indicate, that Desert is actually boost locked because we did see our one item, as important of item as that is. So we are going to have to come back with the boots at some point.
Well, yeah, and for Toplife here, he's going to really hope that there's something over in this last Eastern Palace big key chest. As Zelga's going to go ahead, he's going to finish out his route here in Agina's cave, grab whatever item it is, and then it's probably a choice time for him. Do you want to go back up the mountain, thinking that Toplife might have done the same thing, or are you going to go immediately into the Village of Outcasts area? It's hard to say.
Oh yeah, that's right, because with that moon pearl, we now have Dark World access, both through the one portal near Kakarika Village to give us Village of Outcasts and Skull Woods, and what Zelga is demonstrating right now is he's going to take that moon pearl, and he's going to go to Dark World Death Mountain.
Yep, and this will give him some good information. It'll give him a full map check, and we'll be able to see exactly what our other pendants are today. Also, give us a look at what's on the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock, to see if we even need to do that. Toplife, on the other hand, well, really quick here, we've got pendants in Swamp Palace and pendants up on Skull Woods. That was another 5/6 crystal down in Misery Mire as Toplife heads to check his shovel. More money. All right.
More money. I think we've seen like 4 300s at this point or something like that.
Oh, this is going to be bad for Toplife. I can see where he's going. He's going to Agina's cave without the book.
No, that is unfortunately going to be a pretty long walk for Toplife because we saw that the main value of the Desert Palace area, of course, is inside Desert Palace, which he can't access. But not only nobody likes to walk over all the way to Agina. I mean, dashing is probably the best way, but man, this is going to be a pretty slow time sync for him.
Yeah, Zelga's not finding anything on the mountain quite yet. We're going to get a quick look at this medallion there. That looked like bomb mode?
These people doing so fast.
They're doing this too fast. They're really doing this too fast.
Yeah, don't they realize that we have people like watching them? Like, shouldn't they give us some consideration here?
I mean, have a little heart for our trackers there, guys.
Alright, so Hookshot Cave is so far looking like nothing.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah. Although maybe Zelga won't complain about that extra heart container because we are going into the Dark World for real this time with actual danger. So probably that extra heart as safety is probably not going to be unwelcome.
Yeah, and so Toplife is making his way up the mountain. He's gonna jump into Spectacle Rock at this point. He knows that, oh no, it happened. And
yeah.
He's gonna feel real bad because he's behind Zelga right now, and he's gonna think to himself, aha, that's possibly the worst thing that could be there for me right now.
Yeah. And of course, for Toplife, there's not going to be too much left in Logic. I think, we did mention that Zora himself is in Logic because we do have a glove. Other than that, though, because Toplife's already checked Agina, I don't think there's much else left in Logic that can get him something, so...
Yep, no, it does look that way as we're about to just go directly into Skull Woods here. This is kind of I kind of like this play on Zelga's side here because if you're coming in here early, when you just have the mitts, you're wanting to double check that you're not gonna just leave hammer or say a couple of other things there.
Yeah, and
Um,
yeah, and especially Skull Woods being a pendant. Also a lot of runners, most likely Zelga and Topplife, kind of considers the front of Skull Woods to be essentially overworld, just because it's kind of like right here, and getting most of the checks right is pretty fast. Zelga is demonstrating how frustrating this one room, of course, arguably one of the most difficult rooms in Skull Woods is. No Kata Samaria has to move and drag and drop that statue, the slow way. Not to mention try and fight off all of the Gibdos that do 2 hearts of damage apiece.
Now, I'm very curious of what Toplife's next move is when he picks up this pearl. If he goes back up the mountain, he's going to get a whole fat lot of nothing. If he goes over to, say, the Village of Outcasts area there, he's going to make up a little bit of time. Now, he'll end up leaving all of those checks up on the mountain. They'll be in the back of his head. But at the same time, that might actually work out a little bit better for him here as he gets the pearl, saves and quits, and now it's decision time here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if Zelga, when he made the decision, was partially influenced by the fact that he was on low health, right? Dark Death Mountain doesn't really have much danger, and if you can get some more safeties to kind of make the rest of your Dark World trip a bit easier, right? Maybe that might have, tried to, sway him into the mountain. So.
And Zelga taking a very nice assisted Gibdo push into the wall master there. To get himself out of Skull Woods. Completely intended, not the least bit pure silly accident that was happening.
Yeah, ideally he would have liked to walk out with a bit more health, but probably not going to be the end of the world for him. Unfortunately, I only saw a heart piece that we found in the front of Skull Woods. I'm not sure if I saw anything else of value.
No, that was it, I believe. It's just that heart piece. So there's going to be one more item in Skull Woods. We just need to figure out exactly what it is. It's going to be locked behind Fire Rod, and, well, we might never go back into it to grab it because, we don't need to. It's a pendant necessary.
That's right. Pendant dungeons are not, the preference of many runners, of course, in this tournament.
Well, it is kind of interesting that with with Swamp Palace being a pendant as well, that we got the hook shot early, so we don't necessarily, neither runner has to start thinking about going, oh, which one of those fun tricks are we going to have to do? As Zelga finally finds something interesting there in the form of a Master Sword there in the chest game.
Oh yeah. Anytime we get a sword upgrade, it is more than welcome. Double damage, yes please.
Definitely. We're only guaranteed up until Tempered Sword today, as Zelga's found. I think we've got enough money.
I think we have. Stop, please. Yeah. We have so much money, and yet we have almost no places we can actually use to purchase anything. Right? I mean, I guess we can buy bombs at 50 rupees a pack, but we don't have bottles, so we can't buy potions. I guess we can sink some money into Zora, but other than that, I don't know how much more we can actually use to use our money on.
Yeah, there's really not much, unfortunately. It's just so Zelga's gonna give us this these first 4 in escape here. Gets our first bottle, which is kind of nice. It does kind of unfortunately give you that isolated sick kid check right now. Probably will route that in eventually. Toplife has made his way to the Village of Outcasts portal here, and he is going to go directly south here. So this gonna make up a little bit of time.
Yeah, assuming he never goes back. Just like I kind of saw in Zelga versus Toplife in Game 1, Toplife ended up saving something like a minute and a half or 2 minutes over Zelga, just because Toplife never did Left Side Swamp, and Zelga decided to go back and be more thorough.
Right, and Zelga actually being kind of daring here. There's always a question when you jump into Thieves Town, whether or not you go to the back When you just have mitts, you don't have hammer. Now, with getting the small key up front, it's going to put all of the chests here in the back into logic, which now Zelga's going to kind of hope that the chest that he's leaving there, the Thieves Town big chest, doesn't actually have anything. Now, Top Life, on the other hand, is just saying, forget Thieves Town, I'm going to go for it here. He's making his way immediately down south.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious whether or not Top Life has been influenced by maybe he feels like he's a bit behind, so maybe he doesn't want to quite take that risk going into, the back of Thieves Town.
It's a hard one to say here. Like Top Life, yeah, I'm imagining that he goes, oh dear God, it's just it's really hard to say exactly what to do when you're in a game 3 and you know your opponent. Like everybody in this group is excellent, and it's really hard to decide how you're going to do this. As Zelga finds item number 2 there, it's just 10 arrows, man.
Zelga.
He's down to a half heart. Maybe powder this anti-fairy down at the bottom here. Is Top Life going to go ahead and pick up the smiths?
So, all right, he's quick swapped over.
Yeah, that might be his decision here. All right, waiting for this anti-fairy, powdered it. Okay, everything's fine. Nobody was worried about anything. Wow. Man, nothing so far on the southern route here for Top Life. We're gonna have to make our way to Hype Cave. Maybe Hype Cave will actually have something.
So that's the hope, right? For every single seed that we've seen so far. That Hype Cave has something.
Yeah, I know Hype Cave has been trash lately, but yeah. Okay, so bad news for Zelga. There is gonna be something in the Thieves Town big chest here. Well. Let's go and see what's in Hype Cave. And Zelga's about to go to his blind fight.
We have $41, 46, 96 rupees in Hype Cave. Oh man, that is a really underwhelming Hype Cave, especially given that we've already found all 300 rupee prize packs.
Man, that is I honestly say that's maybe even worse for Top, as Zelga just went ahead, followed the script perfectly on blind, takes him down, gets another red bottle.
I don't know why Zelga decided to powder the anti-fairy, in the hallway. He didn't take any damage after that. Like, what was the issue? Just wasted a bunch of time sitting there.
You gotta be safe. Dying is slow. We went over this yesterday. Dying is
slow. That is true.
All right, so Zelga's now gonna have that incredibly fun title, fun memory in his head of, oh God, there's something in that Thieves Town big chest. There's something in that Thieves Town big chest. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, and that is actually something that, unfortunately, for Game 1, this exact same situation happened where there was one item left in the big chest of Thieves Town, and Zelga ended up going back to it, and Top Life did not. So these things, definitely can, make or break the race, for these runners.
I mean, in a 1v1 setting like this, you can make these sort of aggressive plays, because if they work, it can win you the entire seed. And that's kind of what you're going for. You're not trying to go, this isn't the qualifiers anymore where you're trying to maybe play safer. Right now you're trying to beat the other guy. That's pretty much the only thing you want to do.
Yeah, looks like Zelga is going to, retrace on the Top Life steps. Going to take his frog on a South Dark World tour versus Top Life. He's going to actually explore some of the things that Zelga had already done in the front of Skullwoods.
All right, so for things in logic right now, we've got Purple Chest and Zora.
Man. We don't have much else left. You're right. We can't get into Swamp Palace because we don't have that mirror, and we also don't have the flippers. We can't get up to Tower of Hera because we don't have a mirror, we don't have a hammer. We are really running low on options here.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, I think that's worse for Top Life just because Zelga has checked more of this. Because Top Life is just going to feel like his progression is going to be in one of these other places. Now, unless he gets really crazy and decides to go over and just kern jump his way into the other side of the world here. But man, it's it's hard to say exactly what we're gonna do here. As it looks like Zelga's gonna go check his shovel and turn in his smiths for more money.
Yeah, and this is actually pretty, worked out pretty well for Zelga because I think Top Life came over here specifically to check the dig spot, but Zelga is going to be able to kind of combine this with the return trip of turning into Smith. Zelga not even taking the 300 at this point. He said, you know what, 1,500 rupees, I think I'm set for this game.
It's like, what am I gonna use an additional 300 rupees for when I've already got 15? I mean, like, there's not enough potions to buy in this game.
Oh yeah, speaking of potions, we found 2 bottles from Thieves Town. We're gonna be able to get a sick kid check as well.
That's true. Maybe this is what we're looking for here. As okay, so Top Life, on the other hand, is making his way down. Probably at this point gonna dip Thieves Town. I don't know if he'll finish it.
This is gonna be mirrorless purple chest, maybe?
Wow, so he went fully on to just directly south. He didn't even check.
Check Sea House. That is actually pretty surprising.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, honestly. Okay, so Sick Kid, what do we got?
Oh my gosh! So we have the boots! That is awesome for Zelga! Holy cow, we can go fast. That Thieves Town dip, 100% required at this point.
Oh, and I'm thinking about it right now. Not to say, oh god, this is terrible for Top too much, but man, this is terrible for Top.
If Top Life had kind of dipped the first 4 of Thieves Town, actually, because we did see a bottle located right in the front 4, it actually would have been probably a lot nicer for Top Life because, the next time he goes back to Kakarot, he can turn that in for Sick Kid. Was that a mirror, maybe, that we saw?
No, that was a hard piece.
Okay, alright, okay. It looked very small at the very bottom, and it was kind of whitish, so... Okay, that's good. So no, it looks like no AGA 1 today, at least.
No, we're not gonna have to worry about that here. So, okay, it looks like our likely progression is in Zelga's hands right now. We're gonna start with King's Tomb, and probably head to Bonk Rocks in just a moment.
Oh my gosh! All right, that bottle has really just started like the chain of progression. Right, so with the bottle unlocked the boots, and the boots led us into King's Tomb, and we found our next piece of progression, which is the bow.
And what I'm starting to think is that the game is expecting our runners to go to pod through AGA right now. I think that's what the game is expecting our runners to do.
So speaking of the next piece of cheese, so Zelka just found the flute from Bonk Rocks. This is going to give us access to Meyer as well. We don't quite have a medallion yet to get into Meyer, but knowing the game, maybe they'll just put the entry medallion right underneath like Meyer Shed or something like that.
Oh, no doubt. As I'm kind of stunned here right now, just because we're looking through this seed, and it turns out that the thing you really needed was a bottle.
Of all things, that is really not anything that probably people would think about, right? Because there are 4 of them, and they're mainly just kind of used for safety at this point.
Oh, I mean, yeah, a lot of the times you're gonna kind of ignore them here. Now, Zelga kind of smartly going, okay, so I'm able to just get desert taken care of. Let's go ahead and do that.
That's right. With that, with finding the boots, probably one of the most important things, in this game is we need those crystals in order to beat Ganon or at least enter his tower. And Zelda, realizing that Desert was boost locked before, with a lamp as a fire source, with a bow, with the Master Sword, he's got plenty of ammunition in order to take down Lambo and clear this dungeon.
Now, big question is Zelga going to decide to go and check the right side first here? He's only looking for one item out of Desert because we did get Moon Pearl here
Oh, that's
earlier.
right, yeah. My guess is he'll probably just go to the back. And of course, if Lambo has the item, great, we're done. Otherwise, he can always come back and make that decision.
Yeah, it's kind of smartly he picked up the small key as a just-in-case sort of thing. I can honestly say I've done it many times where I've come back into Desert Palace without picking up the small key, run to the small key door,
Oh, no.
and then go, wait, why isn't it opening? It feels bad.
It is not a good feeling, especially this is game 3 for them, right? They are literally fighting for the next piece of tournament progression, which is of course brackets. It is not a feeling that you really want in this type of situation.
Definitely, but it looks like Toplife has taken down Blind there, followed the script fairly well there. We are tied on crystals for about the next maybe minute because Zelga's about to take down Landmo, and that will give him will put him back in a 1 crystal advantage at this point.
Alright, yeah, Toplife, very excellently done taking care of Thieves Town. Looks like he is going to turn in our purple chest. This sequence is really never any fun without the mirror, because ideally we would just be able to use the mirror to warp from Dark World to Light World, but if the mirror happens to be in that purple chest, right, this is going to be, this is going to give Toplife, pretty big advantage.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a really bad situation right now. We're getting NMG Landmo over
Oh,
here.
no, Zelga! This is so often you don't get to see back in Rando. But, so it's 4 arrows for every single Landmo. Very, very difficult in terms of execution. Lots of practice. There's a reason why this is one of the most practiced bosses that NMG runners do in the Light World.
That cape is not going to be particularly useful. I mean, it's nice, but not overly useful as Zelga takes down Landmo, gets the compass, which means he's going to have to go back into Desert Palace to find the other thing.
Yeah, I think we did see Zelga check the cape of the bumper ledge earlier. It was like 3 bombs or something like that. Toplife most likely is not going to pick that up.
Yeah, some junk there, so not going to worry about that. That's not, actually a really good thing for Toplife right now. Coming back into the Village of Outcasts. Now, I guess this means, yeah, so he will get his boots and probably go, oh, okay, let's maybe start going for the progression.
Yes. Yeah, Toplife's going to be very, very, well, he should be very happy to see these boosts because now he can go fast just like so. However, he may not be as pleased as knowing where the boost location actually is.
Okay, that's Quake as our second item in Desert Palace. Zelga has picked that thing up there, so that's not really our progression either. We're gonna flute away here. Toplife's gonna go pick up his bow, pick up his flute out of these quick boots checks. Zelga, on the other hand, fluting over here, and he looks like he might clear Eastern Palace.
Yeah, well, so we know that Zelga hasn't been over here. This might just be like a really fast check into Sahajla's closet because there's 3 fast checks. I'm not sure if he necessarily wants to commit to at least a clearing Eastern Palace. It is kind of like a pendant at this point. He does have the Mire area open for him, and if Quake is an entry point into Mire, that might be another place that he might be interested in going.
I mean,
it's not great.
He is fluting away here, so yeah, it looks like we are probably headed down to the Misery Mire area, like you called it there, Clear Mouse.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like Zelga has what he can dip Eastern Palace and clear it. I have no idea what that was.
Bombos again.
Bombos. Oh yeah, that's
Looks
right.
like
Okay.
Bombos again.
Okay.
On the second look there, he finally showed more than like a pixel of the.
Thank you for your consideration, Zelga. We appreciate it.
So it's not Meyer Shed either, though. That's kind of okay. So okay, yeah, I guess I'm feeling like we're gonna be seeing some current jumps here pretty soon because we're looking through everything else. What else can you really do now? Top Life gonna make his way over here, and he's going into the Dark World portal. I think both runners might be doing the exact same thing.
Whoa. All right. So maybe this was a reason why the game gave us so many bombs to begin with, because they knew that both runners were going to try and avoid defeating Aga 1 for Dark World, well, for the rest of Dark World access, and letting us do the current jump instead in order to get over there.
Top Life hasn't seen Bumper Cave yet, so he's gonna go take a look here because he did get that cape, find out that it's just bombs, and yeah, no, he's gonna make the full trip. That looks like over to this. Now, we're gonna get to see some fun current jumps. This is gonna be great. It looks like Zelga might have just decided, you know what, forget a current jump. I've got boots. I'm gonna set up a water walk.
I like this thinking by Zelga. You know, we found the boots from Sick Kid from that bottle. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use those boots as much as I possibly can. So easy. Oh man, did Top Life just get it first try? Like, I mean, look, like this is how good both runners are. It was just so smooth.
Perfectly timed there. There's a couple of different setups there. It looked like he used the one where you use the bottom of the tree there to kind of set your position, and got through that no problem. Zelga just having that water walk, or he just jumped directly down onto water, and that was this. Okay, so Catfish, what do you got for us?
Zelga's already moving away, thinking that Catfish is not going to have anything. Oh no, it's pretty important. Yeah. Please go back for that, Zelga. All right, Top Life's going to be equally as happy, I guess, making sure that we check Catfish. Yeah, unfortunately, Top Life, showing us their skill, for him able to do the current jump, but unfortunately, I think he got lotteried twice by that Ropa, almost down to basically one-hit KO mode, because pretty much everything in the Dark World does 2 hearts of damage or more. Really glad to, see him at least survive the triple of the Catfish.
Yeah, he had to pop one of his red potions here, so he's going to be down 1 red potion to Zelga at the moment, but I'm not necessarily worried about him from this point on. Both runners should be able to kind of handle this part, as Zelga's first one to the pyramid. Going to take a look over there, find 20 rupees, and we're going to continue to play the game of where the heck are all the items.
Yeah. Of course, Pyramid Ledge had another sword actually for Zelga yesterday, which actually potentially was quite the difference between Temper Sword and Master Sword for execution.
Yeah, no, that definitely was one of the big differences in Game 2. Game 1, we had the Ice Rod problems, and Game 2, we had... Game 2, it was that Tempered Sword really making the biggest difference for Zelga. So we're both runners now heading into Palace of Darkness. Now, of course, you still have to kind of give the advantage here to Zelga because of that desert clear over Top Life right now, but depending on what we find in here, Top Life will be able to kind of maybe combine Desert and Misery Mire if we get a mirror at any point. But, Swamp Appendant, hard to say exactly.
Yeah, and this is actually a good point as well. So if we end up finding a mirror here, I'm wondering if Zelga's going to be tempted to at least dip part of Eastern Palace, because he's right here, right? And assuming we don't find the hammer, I'm not sure if he wants to kind of come back here and to do Eastern Palace more. Versus Top Life, he's already dipped the front of Eastern.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's hard to say exactly what these guys will do, because if you're over here, and I guess it would really depend on what do you pick up out of Palace of Darkness here. Because if you pick up some sort of progression, you're gonna go and chase that progression. But if you only get a mirror, yeah, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna check. Coming back here is not a whole lot of fun.
Of course, what are we hoping to find in Pod? I guess maybe ideally it would be the hammer, so we can clear it the first time through. But knowing the game, it's probably not going to be that convenient.
I guess to me right now, what I'm kind of interested in is seeing if this was a logical Agassiz or not. So far, we don't really know. As unfortunately, with no mirror,
Yeah, no
we're
mirror,
gonna
no
have to play the good
hammer.
death warping game.
I guess at least this is one of the benefits of having such, actually, you know, all things considered, we're almost 50 minutes into the game, and we've got like 7 hearts total. I guess at least we could death warp faster.
Yeah,
so
and I guess
yeah, so far nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, in pod.
Yeah, pod is one of those fun dungeons where all of the keys are in the front there. Pretty much, you're gonna find 4 keys. 4 keys in the front of pod, no matter what. Now the question is
Yeah,
are you gonna find any interesting items in the back? So
yeah. Well, I mean, so I think we've already found 2 non-keys. I think so. We found the big key in the first room of pod, and then we just saw Zelda take out a compass on the bottom. He did make a trip to vanilla big key chest, which unfortunately in this case just had a key for a key, so it's not going to be unfortunately any gain there for Zelda. And Topplife is going to be the first 2 runners in the back here. We can actually see what's going on in the dark maze, and hopefully there's going to be something good.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is we've now found all of the dungeon items here, so outside of keys, and there's our hammer finally in the back of pod, of course it is.
Well, you know, that's great news for our runners, not necessarily the fact that the hammer is in pod itself, because why wouldn't it be? It means at least they don't have to trip, especially for Zelda, he doesn't have to, you know, come back here pretty much ever again.
Oh yeah, well neither runner will have to come back here. That's kind of the good thing. Looks like both of them have actually set this up. I think Topplife maybe routed this maybe a little bit better than Zelga. He's gained a little bit of time on this, and he'll be able to come down here, go through this room, and then go directly to Helmasaur and end up skipping 2 of the chests in the front because there is because he'll know that they both have small keys. This is actually working out pretty well.
Yeah, no, the Topplife has definitely made he's definitely gained a bit of time on Zelga, you know, just because we did see, as we said, Days, basically Zelga ended up checking a couple more rooms, that basically just traded, you know, spend a key, get a key type of situation, and Topplife didn't have to go through that. Nice mimics though on Toplife's side as well. Of course, with those sword beams, we're going to be able to, you know, not only use those sword beams to hit switches, we're also going to use our sword beams in the basement also to hit switches, so we don't have to end up like quick swapping over to like the red boomerang or anything. It's just going to be pretty smooth execution from here on out.
Yep, we have sat through that fun 17-second cutscene on Toplife's side as Zelga goes into his. And gonna go deal with a couple of turtle rooms here in the back, and then it's on to Helmasaur. But then where? Man,
Yeah,
Misery Mire, I guess, right?
So yeah, actually we do have Mire open to us. We don't unfortunately have the cane, so we can't actually full clear it. We do have the hammer, which does give us access now to Tower Para up back in the mountain.
That's true. That's true. There's also that Ice Palace sequence break that we could do if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You do have the ability to just fake flipper yourself into there, and now with neither runner having checked Zora or anything like that, that might give you just a little bit of a a little bit of a reason to go do that, as we're going to have simultaneous Helmasaur fights here, but Top Life is dead, and Zelga's is just starting. That was a great fight on
Oh,
Top
yeah.
Life's side.
Yeah, it looks like both runners decided to activate or arm spin speed. So if you can arm spin speed and you can actually extend the hammer's hitbox to whatever your sword's hitbox is, given if you've ever tried to use the hammer for pretty much anything, you know how unpredictable that hitbox can be. So the fact that we can do 10% sword damage with only 4 hits, especially on phase 2, you know, with the hitbox of, in this case, the Master Sword, it's going to make this fight much, much more comfortable.
Well, yeah, and that's going to be crystal number 3 for Zelga right there. Man. Okay, so Top Life is choosing the mountain there. He's going to choose your call there of going up to Tower of Hera. This is kind of this is the one of those moments where I think we can see some divergence. Sure enough, Zelga's doing something else.
Yeah, you know, so at least for Top Life, he does have, I guess, a little bit more because there is Ether Tablet up here. There is also Spike Cave if he wants to go through there. We do have a Red Potion. We've got the hammer. We've got a glove. So we are going to be able to access it. Zelga looks like he's going to follow what you had maybe suggested. Do some flipper checks, and maybe we'll see an Ice Palace dip.
Yeah. We're gonna fake flipper up to Hobo here, and then we're on our way to this. Now, Top Life also remembering he can do Ether Tablet while he's up here. And just get 20 rupees
just
for
more
it.
money. I wonder if Top Life's going to be able to break 2,000 in this game.
Oh man, he doesn't have far to go, does he?
No. No. I mean, I don't know if these runners at this. Well, Zelga's gonna go to Zora. I don't know if Top Life's gonna go anytime soon.
See, I kind of think what Zelga's gonna do is he's gonna go check the front of the waterfall fairy chests, and then I think there's a pretty good chance he ends up going to right back into Ice Palace. And maybe save Zora for afterwards.
Top Life. In the time it took you to say something about Zelga, Top Life is already up on the top of Tower of Hera. Had a really nice Hera pot. We did see one item in the basement, and we got the small key. So Top Life is of course going to hope that the last remaining item is on Moldorm himself.
All right, Waterfall Cave, they're having a bee in a bottle. Zelga's going to immediately try to trade that in for something a little bit better and gets a bee in a bottle.
I don't know if that's considered better.
I mean, they are extremely useful, honestly.
Zelga's probably not thinking that he needs to sell that bee to the bottle vendor to get another 100 rupees in this game.
Okay, directly into Zora there. Zelga making a liar out of me as Top Life has killed Moldorm. We're gonna be tied up on crystal counts in just a moment here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's a big one.
Oh wow, Zelga, that is a very important find for him. 500 rupees. That's more than enough worth for that fire rod. I hope he doesn't feel like he's too far behind because that was available to us like minute, I don't know, 7, something, 8, something like that.
Yeah, like the moment that we hit the well in Kakariko and found that glove. So looks like Top Life is. I didn't see. I want to say that Top Life checked the last and is leaving an item in Tower of Hera. That's what I meant to say there. I was getting there. It just gets 5 rupees out of Spike Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, Top Life found the compass on Moldar, and he's already found the map, and we only just see 10 arrows, so we do know that there is going to be something in the basement for us.
So,
or rather, it's going to be the big chest, I mean, because the key is going to be in the basement.
Right, and this is kind of a weird question time here. So Top Life is kind of misfluted, and he's gonna flute back away to probably get some magic here first. Looks like he spends some of that money. Not gonna quite get to 2,000 today. It looks like.
All right, so given that he is picking up some potions, it could just be a convenient time. Maybe this is going to be an Ice Palace dive. No.
I'm not sure. I'm a little bit confused at where exactly we're going and what we're doing.
I see. Okay, so topplife has remembered that we did pick up the powder very, very early on from Kakariko, our first time here, and given that we have the hammer, this is going to be logically open to us.
Interestingly enough, both runners deciding, now I don't want to do the basement of Tower of Hera. I'm immediately Hera-potting up to the top. Both runners are going to leave an item here as we get the flippers off of Magic Bat.
Wow! Alright, if topplife wasn't going to probably dip Ice Palace, this might be one of his opportunities to go do that.
Yeah, and that'll push him towards that fire rod as well. So that's a great find here. Now he'll go ahead and he's gonna clear out Ice Rod Cave because he hadn't done that before.
Oh, right. Yeah. Always is a little bit iffy to kind of go back to these Sphere 1 locations, right? Toplife's not gonna be more sad to see. I think it was 10 arrows or something like that in Ice Rod Cave. You know, at least he kind of realized he did leave things behind very early on.
Yeah, so, okay, so Crystal number 4 for Zelga, he takes down Moldorm without even the slightest bit of problem. Now, it's interesting, those flippers may not be required. It at this point completely depends on if there's something in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, right. So given that Swamp Palace is a pendant, we know that the flippers are logically required in order to get into Ice Palace, but if flippers, you know, potentially are your go mode, right? Like, I mean, the difference between the full player Ice Palace and the go mode Ice Palace is, it can be a pretty significant time.
Right, and Zelga is now making his way through this. He's just gonna brute force this with his potions. He's gonna be fine, but yeah, interesting. Interesting move here as he gets his 5 rupees.
So I guess he doesn't actually have, in this case, the cape that topplife got from the purple chest. So my guess is that that was probably his only option in order to get through Spike Cave.
He tried to pick up a fairy on the outside, but the fairy just decided to say,
right.
"Nope,
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
running away from you. I don't want to help you today." Okay, so Toplife's about to pick up his fire rod.
Yeah,
now
so
Zelga's
really
picking up a blue potion, thinking ice. I'm thinking we're going to Ice Palace.
Finally, we have a money sink for all the rupees that we ended up picking up through the course of the scene. Looks like you called it. Yeah. So we know that, you know, from Toplife's side, the fact that the flippers were in fact on Magic Bat, Ice Palace is 100% logic. Zelga doesn't quite know that, but you know, as I think you said earlier days, logic is just a suggestion.
Yeah, no. We will only pay attention to it when it is leading us to something, but we don't really actually care about it that much. So we're gonna get a quick hobo check here on Toplife's side. Zelga is just gonna blast his way through. Not gonna get to see Icebreaker today because we've got no red cane. So hope everybody likes bomb jumps because you're probably gonna see one in just a second. We do have one chest that could change that in this very next room.
Yeah, good thing they got the game gave us so many bombs earlier on, so we got plenty of them. Oh,
Ice Rod.
That's pretty important. No hunt today though. You know, for better for worse, I think for better probably, given you know, that this is game 3. You know, from Zelga and Toplife's perspective, like I don't want this game to be decided by an Ice Rod hunt.
Oh no, definitely, yeah. Ice Rod hunts are one of the worst things in the world. Now looking over things right now. We are a Cane of Samaria away from Go mode on, well, basically both runners' side in about 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. You know, actually, so I would just want to say Zelga has some pretty nice execution through the vulnerable floor rooms. Good to see him do Icebreaker. Really nicely done. First time, of course. But yeah, I was gonna say, so yeah, the fact that you said that, you know, we are actually Cane of Samaria away from Go mode, this actually can limit quite a number of locations At least in terms of dungeon diving, where the Cane of Samaria could be. So basically, that means that both runners are going to be able to go mode Turtle Rock.
Yeah, no, that's one of the best things about that is Turtle Rock is not going to be dipped for any reason outside of finishing it at this point. The other thing that we're kind of looking for is if that mirror shows up. If that mirror shows up, then this seed's going to get very interesting very quickly, because that might suggest that the Cane of Samaria is sitting in Swamp Palace right now, which would be that would be intriguing. We'll call it intriguing.
Intriguing, yes. So that means we get more content from this race. That may not be the best case scenario though for both Zelga and Toplife. From their perspective, I'm pretty sure they never want to see that occurrence in the mirror. Maybe when they're in GT or maybe when they're in Turtle Rock, so they can use the mirror later on for some faster routing, but nothing before then.
Yeah, there are a ton of places for that cane to show up. As I to be honest, I have not been counting items here in in Ice Palace. I want to say I've seen 2 already. I guess if Zelga rushes the boss, I'll know that I missed one.
Yeah, so we did see, of course, Ice Rat being the first of our 3 items. We did see Zelga pick up a heart container, and I also did not catch if there was a 3rd item yet.
Well, yeah, there must have been a 3rd item in here, because Zelga is in quite a hurry to go ahead and get himself to Cold Stare here. So, yep, we must have all 3.
Yeah, my guess is maybe that there was something in Ice Tea Room that we just probably missed.
And a good little thing that we should probably look at here is, assuming Cold Stare goes down, which is probably a pretty fair assumption from Zelga, that there is a chance that we might get a little information about whether or not Ice Palace is cane locked or not, which could tell us some things.
Yeah, basically, if it is cane locked, we know that there's going to be a small key showing up on Cold Stare. That was actually a pretty nice magical fight here on Zelga's side.
Okay, now that means it is not cane locked, so that compass on Cold Stare tells us everything that we need. Very quick, good Master Sword Cold Stare fight from zelgadissan. That's going to be crystal number 5, and well, now we're going to be hunting for a red cane.
Yeah, Zelga definitely did some heads up thinking. Using bombos in this case, it does take a little bit more time in order to get through the animation, in order to break Cold Stare shell. But he was able to really use the rest of this magic very well, using extra fire rod shots, because Master Sword unfortunately does not do as a lot of damage as pretty much anything else that we have at this point.
Right, and it looks like Zelga is going to make this play into Misery Mire.
Yeah.
I like this play, because if this turns out to be where Cane is, there's a good chance that your opponent's going to go many different places here.
Yes, and of course, if we already saw a vanilla-ish hammer in pot, why not a vanilla-ish cane in Mire?
Yeah, we're going to find out here in just a moment. We're got Zelga going into one of the most fun rooms to go. We've got Toplife in a not as much fun room right now. Yeah. He's got to be real careful. 4 hearts will... Okay, yeah, a Cold Stare Puff Hug on 4 hearts will kill him. He went ahead and popped a blue potion. He's just going to burn and ate the rest of them.
With like 1,300 rupees almost, even after Zora, I'm pretty sure he can afford another potion if he wants it.
Yeah, and that is going to be crystal number 4 for Toplife. Gets a mirror! Okay!
Yeah, alright, well, so that opens up so a bit more points of decision, because, from Zelga's perspective, he might be thinking, is Toplife, dipping Mire? Is he going to also find that mirror? Do I need to go check some mirror locations now, because that's what Toplife's going to do? Or am I just going to pretend that mirror doesn't exist for the time being?
Big question here on Toplife's side is, what is he going to do? Because Zelga would have to find the flippers on Magic Bat if that turns out where Red Cane is. Top Life is coming down here. He's going to go ahead and tie up the match on crystal counts. This is, oh boy, this is going to be, this is going to be a little interesting at this point. Where is that, where is that cane going to be? It really feels like it's mirror locked, but mirror locked where exactly? There's a lot of different options.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have just so many different points of decision, you know, for both our runners, I mean, we are definitely really anxious to see where that cane ends up showing up. You know, of course, I mean, from Top Life's perspective, he is certainly hoping that the cane is, in fact, going to be the last item in Desert Palace. We know from Zelga's side that it was nothing, I want to say. Certainly not the cane that they're both looking for at this point.
Yeah, no, it's going to be Quake in here. So this is this is nothing that we need by any means. Zelga jumping into the cutscene chest, finding the big key, found a small key up in the other room, I believe, and that means immediately that there's a big key in the cutscene chest.
Yeah, so certainly no time loss, you know, because both runners, Misery Mire being Crystal, they're going to have to sit through that cutscene chest anyway, so it's going to be not a time loss for Zelga. Zelga, I think, is going to hope that the last item, at least in Mire, is not going to be Obvious. Alright, well, you know, it's an item. We're gonna be able to check that pretty much almost immediately at this point.
Yeah, that's something to do. So we'll head over to the witch's hut in just a minute. First thing, let's go check Checkerboard Cave, see if the red cane is just sitting in here. And if that is, you'll see Zelga get very happy very quickly.
Oh,
survey says that is just a piece of heart. So we're still looking.
Top Life about to enter his Lamola's fight. He actually has the luxury of doing the fire rod, which is going to be, you know, probably a faster kill than pretty much anything that I think Zelga had added to his arsenal at this point. 6 fire rod shots. Lamola's going to be done almost just as quickly.
For the mushroom turn-in, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, you know, maybe that mushroom is gonna actually, you know, trigger Zelga's memory and say, oh, you know what? I also have the powder too, and I haven't checked that yet. Maybe that's gonna be something that he also looks into. At least not for the time being, though. This is gonna be Bombo's swamp. Swamp.
No, he can't get into swamp yet. What he's gonna do is he's gonna go 45, and I'm thinking we're going back towards the smith chain. And since we're going to be going, because we still have purple chest on his side, first is, Bombo's tablet. Yeah, you're right. And man, oh boy.
Actually, do we have Pyramid Fairy open to us? Because we do have 5-6 crystals cleared at this point.
No, because one of the 5-6 crystals was Misery Mire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so Pyramid Fairy is not going to be in the picture today, or at least for the time being.
So yeah, okay, so Top Life's going to run over to the other side of Desert Palace here. He's going to get his useless Quake medallion. And while Zelga is going to start his search for this, now I imagine once he finds those flippers, he's going to have a moment of, come on, really?
Yeah.
But first, we're going to get to see what's in Cave 45 as Top Life picks up his useless item. He'll work his way probably down to the right exit. Cave 45 is just a piece of heart, so that's not going to be a location for him.
Oh, and I think this is actually the first time of both our runners kind of being back over here with the hammer, so Zelga's going to be able to give us a hammer pex check as well.
Right. Yeah. This is a pretty dense area of checks for him. So it makes perfect sense for him to kind of go ahead and go over here now. This is one place where Top Life is just, he's gonna have to go back. Zelga's already done a lot of these checks. Top Life's gonna do them. They're not gonna help him at all. Pretty much what Top Life needs to do at this point is he needs to go ahead and immediately go and once he gets that mirror and maybe just gamble it all on swamp immediately, because Zelga is about to get those flippers.
And maybe, you know, from Top Life's perspective, you know, he'll also maybe do a couple of overworld checks that are close by, but, you know, Swamp Palace probably at this point is going to be one of the most item-dense locations.
We will see. He's about to get the flippers, and man, probably not gonna be overly excited about it,
Yeah.
but
He's like, oh, okay, well, at least that puts the Ice Palace that I just did into logic now at this point.
this is okay. Now this is where he's gonna have to start thinking about metagaming. At some point is. Zelga is he's going directly to 4. He's going to turn in this purple chest and then probably go immediately into Swamp Palace. Now, if you're top life, you're going to have to think to yourself, how far behind do I think I am? Because if you're far enough behind, then maybe you go for an off-the-wall check. Maybe you do the Thieves Town big chest.
Oh, man.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you go check that last thing in Skull Woods.
Yeah, and I think we do actually have Eastern Palace fully open to us. There is a green
2
pendant.
items there.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a green pendant there, and we haven't seen yet. Oh man, where do you? I mean, I guess this is technically better than an ice rod hunt, but you know, because we do have, you know, a good number of locations, you know, closed off to us because it is a KS Mario. But this is pretty nerve-wracking for our runners. Not to mention us watching.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if I'm Zelga here, I'm almost assuming 100% that it's going to be in here. Like I will personally be shocked if the cane is not in Swamp, but there's always a chance. Like, this is rando; it can be literally anywhere. This mirror that they found could just be bait.
Yeah, and then of course there is going to be the question of, this is Swamp Palace. There are 6 items here available to us, but you know, 2 of them potentially are on left side. Do you do left side? Do you wait? And if you decide to skip left side the first time around, you go back in, right?
Yeah,
you know, like there are 2 items left or something like that.
I mean, when your first item is the compass, there's probably a pretty good chance you're just going to go ahead and straight do it. I don't know. You're 1 item away from go mode. You probably should just go directly to the back, but that compass as your first item, you're probably going,
yeah, it's
that's
not promising.
That's not great, yeah.
Okay, so I think Top Life ended up finding both items, because I think he took a slightly different route than Zelga inside Misery Mire, so he picked up the mushroom as well. But most likely, you know, he knows that the big key is over here, so you can see that mirror right available on Quick Swap. So pick it up, nope out immediately, and then now it's time to see where Top Life decides to go with his newly found mirror. Right after Checkerboard Cave.
You gotta go to Checkerboard Cave for your first. Yeah, there's really no option otherwise. So after this is a moment here, because Zelga is continuing to work his way through Swamp. And we're gonna get to see what's in this little chest there.
Alright, so that's, you know, I mean, that is definitely really worth it, regardless of what ends up happening, because that Temper Sword upgrade, you know, as you suddenly saw Zelga's significant advantage game 2, is that Temper Sword is gonna make things a whole heck of a lot easier for the rest of the seed. I imagine if Top Life, goes into Swamp, he's gonna find the same thing, but if Top Life ever goes in,
yeah, well, first we're going to pick up that half magic. A good bomb set up there for Diver Down over on Zelga's side. Gets through that. Finds nothing. Gets a green potion in a bottle, which is good, but that's not what he's looking for.
Nope, not at this point. Oh, actually, that Temper Sword, speaking of, is actually pretty fortunate here. The fact that Zelga's found it in Swamp Palace, because coming up in the Argus fight, for a Master Sword, it's going to take 2 slashes to kill every single one of those Argus small puffs. But with a Master Sword, it's going to be, you know, hook and slash, hook and slash, hook and slash. It's going to be very, very straightforward.
Yeah, definitely. And Top Life immediately jumping into Swamp Palace as well.
Bombos medallion.
Yep, you're right there. So Zelga's gonna finish this up, and now we got a question for Zelga. We know that there is at least one item in the back. We don't know what Argus is about to give us yet. Okay, so there is one item remaining.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I think we saw the map in the compass already, so there is going to be a big key, and I think just one more item, and looks like Zelga, he is going to be thorough, and he is going to not leave this to chance. He's going to go back in.
Yeah, now Top Life is going up to cave 45. Now, maybe this is the gamble for not going to Swamp Palace? Let's... And going back into the portal there, I think he's just going back to Swamp Palace, though.
Yeah, most likely that he just doesn't want to make sure that K45 is orphaned, because I think once he does Swamp, you know, it's also a pretty fast check, right? You know, if your Kane is just kind of sitting out there, you know, there's no reason for you to commit to a whole pendant dungeon without kind of checking it.
Yeah, now here's the fun, okay? So
fun?
Yeah, the fun. We don't know where this cane is. Now, if this is not here on left side swamp, we've got Skullwoods 1 item, Thievestown 1 item, Tower of Hera 1 item, Eastern Palace 2 item.
Oh, can I ask what your definition of fun is?
Fun for the viewers.
Oh, okay, fun for the viewers. Got it.
I'm not playing this seed. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh man. All right, so I was really hoping that, you know, for Zelga's sake, that this one item is going to be the one that we're looking for. Otherwise, he's probably going to feel, you know, not great coming back to left side swamps just for one item.
Man, I mean, and the fun thing is, at this point, I'm gonna kind of say that we might have to consider pedestal as an option. Not a likely option, but it is an option. All right, big key there for Zelga. So.
Oh, man.
Map, so it's in the big chest, so now he's got to run all the way back.
The suspense. Thank you, game.
I'll just say right now, while we're waiting for Zelga to get back to the big chest here, give the runners a follow. This is game 3 of Group F winners bracket. See who can move on into the bracket of 64. Zelga is about to open a chest. Find out, is Kane in here? It is not. That is a heart container. Well,
okay, so
we go.
That's right. So you were mentioning about all of these wonderful 1-item locations, but I believe you did say something about a whole 2-item location, which looks like Eastern Palace. From Zelga's perspective, this is going to be what, 4? Because he hasn't ever like dipped this place, so this is, you know, very naturally, you know, his next spot to go. Oh man.
Right, and here this is where the seed is just going to get really nastier. Because there are options there. We still have Graveyard Ledge as well. That's hasn't been checked. There's quite a few things, and they're all one-offs. So we went from probably Zelga having a decent lead to, okay, now both runners are just in the complete coin flip state right now. Like, somebody's gonna find it. Zelga's gonna end up checking everything in Eastern Palace here, including going all the way to the big key chest, which doesn't have anything for him. Man, this is I don't know exactly. Someone is gonna have an advantage here, and it's impossible to tell who it is gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly, just in terms of comparing Eastern Palace clears, though, Zelda is going to have to be able to come here with the boot, so he's going to be able to at least run through Eastern, as opposed to Toplife, who had to unfortunately walk most of his way through. I do like Zelda's, at least, decision. So Eastern Palace is kind of naturally, the next set of most item dislocations for him. But this is actually going to be another pendant that we can take down. And if Zelda decides to end up finishing up Skull Woods, he does have the mirror, and he can actually pull the pedestal if it gets that far.
Oh, Zelga making a play here. Directly back to...
I'm actually pretty surprised at this because, it's so late in the game. You're actually looking for that one item. I mean, we know that it's going to pay off for him. I don't know if he's going to know that.
Yeah, and Toplife going back. He's going back into left side swamp for this one item as well. I'm a little surprised that he's doing this, but I mean, this is just, these are Hail Mary plays at this point from both runners. Man, I will say this, that we unfortunately didn't get to mention it a second ago here, but Toplife had a really nice 0 cycle Argus there. An excellent fight there. As Zelga's setting up for his quick kill here on the Armos Knights. Gonna get to see what item they drop, and we're gonna get the green pendant, which will get us another item. It's the red cane! That is it!
We're not gonna need that green pendant tournament because Zelga has found his go mode item at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 40-some seconds. Wow! Oh, wow.
Man, there we go. Okay, so, yeah, Zelga is in go mode right now. He's got the big key for Misery Mire, so he's going to just sprint directly to Vitreous here. And Toplife is... I don't know what he's going to be able to do at this point.
If he goes directly to Eastern Palace after this, he at least will be on the right path, but yeah, that's...
It's more, yeah, it's more there's many options. So, like, which one, like, choosing the right one, Zelga chose the right one there. He got the Cane of Samaria, so he is in a fantastic position right now. Toplife is gonna come out of this and go, I don't know, one of them.
Yeah, and of course, I think Zelga was partially motivated by the fact that, Eastern was, at his time, his most item dense location, right? Because he hadn't dipped Eastern Palace, versus Toplife kind of made the early decision to at least explore part of Eastern. So the fact that he knows that there's only going to be 2 items left is not very, it may not actually draw him over there, which we know that's where the King of Samaria is. Zelga giving us a really quick dungeon map check to make sure that he knows where he's going to go, despite having the lamp.
All right, so yeah, Zelga looked like he got his spooky action set up here. So in the very next room, he's going to shoot a fire rod shot at one of these anti-fairies, and then magic's going to happen. You can trust me on that.
Yep.
There we go. There's some magic. Now, Toplife on the other side is heading the wrong direction, unfortunately.
So this could be a graveyard ledge check. This could be a back of Skull Woods finish for him.
What this is the mirror just being the biggest bit of bait in this seed. Like, just both runners are going, oh god, it's the mirror, it's in Swamp Palace. No, it's over in Eastern.
Yeah, no, that's true. So we did manage to pull out a Tempered Sword from Swamp Palace, which is certainly, very welcoming sight, but yeah, that mirror, though, otherwise, is actually quite a bit of bait because, these runners are more than capable, of course, of finishing the seat on Master Sword Ganon, and honestly, if they never pick up Temper Sword, at the cost of not picking up the mirror, I'm sure they're willing to take that trade.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would be like, you know what, I'll take the Master Sword Silverless fight over the Tempered Silverless fight if it means I don't have to do a completely useless full clear of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and not to mention what both runners end up going back into Left Side Swamp for one item, which is a Heart Container, which at this point, they're probably willing to give up.
Yep, and well, Toplife has decided to make the but is making the right decision here.
That's good for Toplife for sure.
Yeah, so he's going to go to Eastern. He'll clear out Armos Knights. He'll get his red pendant, red cane, and then
Red pendant's also good.
it would be nice. I think this one's supposed to be green though.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
But yeah. So other side though, Zelga is making his way quickly up the mountain here. He's going to give us a go mode Turtle Rock, not really knowing exactly if that's going to be any faster than a actual full clear of Turtle Rock. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Zelga definitely had some nice luck as well coming up the mountain. No damage taken, from the boulders or the dead rocks. So he's actually going to have the fortunate occurrence of having sword beams. Sword beams are great, especially for those barbs that you can just kill or snipe from afar. So they have no chance of knocking you off the platforms.
Yeah, no, that'll be kind of nice here. Okay, Top Life making his way back. Zelga making his way into his final dungeon.
Yeah, speaking of more from that mirror, we don't need to check the cave today. 100%.
Yeah, no, very likely we'll be stealing the key from the Pokey room here in just a moment and just going directly as quickly as we can and hoping that a small key shows up on the way. Oh, all right, Top Life about to make his way into this. Now, one thing both runners might want to pay attention to is especially after this Armos Knights clear on Top Life's side, they're a little low on arrows.
You make a very excellent point. We do need some arrows, at least, certainly at the very minimum, in order to clear the mimics up in upper GT. And being short on arrows is really not a situation you want to kind of find yourself in right when you're about to climb.
Now, Top Life unfortunately wasted a little bit of time there. Could have just either saved and quit out or mirrored out of that pendant pickup there. So he probably lost himself a good 15 seconds on that. But he's now on his way to Misery Mire. He'll be doing the same sort of clear this as quickly as he possibly can that we saw from Zelga. Zelga, on the other hand, making his way through Turtle Rock there without really any problem. Nice, easy chain chomp room.
Yeah, so Zelga makes that chain chomp look super, super easy. That room is probably the bane of many, many runners' existence.
Ooh, very nice Mire too from Top Life there. Just got through that, nailed all of those whiz robes with the fire rod, got the sword beams on the popos there. Excellent done. Oh, hey, look at that Pokey being nice to Zelga and just coming directly up there for him. Man, the runners have hit let's move as quickly as possible time, it looks like.
Yeah, this seed is already pushing an hour 30. We're probably at least looking at, at least hour 40 at this point to finish the seed. I think these runners want to finish as fast as they possibly can. This seed hasn't really been the shortest of them, but you still have to be thinking like, how far behind am I? Am I going to see dot done within the next couple minutes here? Because they ended up making the right decision to go finish up Eastern Palace, so then they didn't have to go dive all of Pendant Swamp, for example.
The Pendant Swamp is the one that's probably weighing the most on their mind right now, just because it's like, oh god, I did an entire full clear of Pendant Swamp. My opponent might not have. Oh god, maybe he cleared cleared Eastern Palace earlier. I could be in such bad shape right now. Like that's why we cannot say that this match is over yet. Zelga definitely has a sizable lead there. There's probably 3 minutes, least maybe 4 to 5 minutes ahead for Zelga. But like the biggest thing is there's still a full GT climb where you're going to be panicking the whole time. Oh, Top Life having to settle for killing Vidi this way because he's only got the 6 arrows. And finally gets him down. Zelga finds a small key on Laser Bridge. He's making his way back to Trinex as we speak.
Yeah, unfortunately, and just with the key layout, he had to go check all the way to the bottom, so it's gonna just be a little bit of extra time. But as you said, Days, arrows after Armos is definitely going to be an issue. We kind of actually already saw a consequence of that on top left side, because normally you would just like to be able to shoot 8 arrows in order to kill the big eyeball, but unfortunately top left did not have that luxury. Meanwhile, we're getting some backdoor strats here on Zelga's side in order to take down Trinex, Temper Sword, half magic, both rods, really nice one cycle. Ideally, he's trying to reduce some more lag by hugging the wall so the shield doesn't get drawn, and pretty awesome nice now phase 2.
Okay, now that's going to be crystal number 7 here for Zelga. He's going to make a quick run over to GT, and we're going to have to figure out where the game is, so where the key is. I believe there was a little bit of a prediction there in chat of where you think the big key is going to be today, whether you think it's going to be in chest 1 through 10 or 12 to 22. Chest 11 is the commentator's chest, so if we get it, we win.
I was wondering, I wonder why 11 was excluded, but I fully understand now.
Yeah, that's what Rick was doing there when he made that one for us. All right, we got simultaneous openings of dungeons on both sides here.
Yeah, it looks like Zelga's going to be able to beat the Bombos cutscene though, and going to be first of our runners into their respective dungeons. Starting with Hope Room, our first 2 checks is going to be safety, and presumably some more safety. I don't, Zelga's pretty close to the maximum hearts, so the 20 rupees could be another maybe upgrade, or it should just be maybe like a heart piece from a container. But it is not the big key, nor is a small key, so we're gonna have to go left.
Yeah, we're gonna continue on here. It looks like we're going for the Hope Room and then full left strats over on Zelga's side. Now, if it turns out that the Compass Room on the right side turns out to have our big key here, that's one place that Top Life could, make this a little bit closer. Oh, or not. Wow. Zelga's gonna go right, left, right.
Yeah, this is definitely different than I think what we've kind of seen Zelga do in the past, but this is he's gonna check basically with the small key that he picked up from Stalfo's room. He's going to be able to check 4 more chests pretty quickly here in Compass Room.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. Not used to seeing a direct one quite like this. A lot of runners will either just kind of go left, right, and then back left again. Kind of seeing what if this is gonna work out for Zelga, as we get a very nice little kick block.
Yeah, yeah. I am kind of curious to see, or to at least ask Zelga about what his kind of mentality or mindset is, because is he doing this because he feels behind? Is he doing this because this is he thinks that he just wants to switch things up a bit? This is game 3, and as you mentioned, we had a full pendant crystal clear that we may not have needed in this scene.
Yeah, no, it's we're going full right over on Zelga's side. Like I'm watching this and I can barely my brain is having trouble comprehending it. Yeah. This is so rare. But we'll see if it works out for him. Now, like, worst case scenario. Now, good news is he did get some arrows, so that's not as big of an issue for him at this point. He's picking up some more. Even picking up some more, so we're now at 30 arrows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so there was a not, a very fortunate arrow drop, of course, but we actually did get some vanilla 10 arrows right before dropping out Ice Armos. Now, of course, watch the big key be in Tile Room, and of course, all this routing just was for nothing.
Well, because then we get to have some fun, and that's all right. Okay, so we're coming back behind Ice Armos today. It is the big key. It worked out for Zelga. I don't know what number that was, but oh man, that was funny.
Zelga is more than happy to see that big key, mainly because he knows that in this particular case, his GT routing decided to pay off.
Yeah, so now he's got to make his way up the mountain, up the tower here.
It's
I'm not really
pretty much a
expecting.
mountain.
Yeah, it's effectively the same thing. Either way, so he's going to work his way up here. And I don't expect him to have any trouble here, but I mean, he's got to be just a little bit careful. Like, the nerves have to be somewhere in his system right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say nerves, especially at this point, is very much a thing, right? I mean, Zelga and Topplife definitely probably don't show it in terms of execution, but you can definitely, understand, if they might be, just a bit more precarious, coming up the gauntlet.
Yeah, Topplife even taking just a second there to make sure that he gets his health refilled before heading to the Trinex fight there. He was getting a little bit low. Probably a smarter idea, a little bit quicker to do that than to try to chase down a whole bunch of anti-fairies in that one room.
Yeah, and at this point, time is probably of the essence, right? Just drinking a potion now is probably going to be more worth his time. Especially, I don't think he opened the safety door, so if he had some mishap happen to him, he's going to have a significant more time loss because he has to kind of start the dungeon over again.
Right, and that, well, what's even better is like that entire time Zelga went ahead and finished his gauntlet. I mean, that was fast.
I mean, he does have half magic. He was kind of able to put the fire rod to good use, right? I think Zelga also does have, I want to say, a green potion and at least one red potion. So hopefully, for safety, he's good. But yeah, he's.
I mean, he's got powder. He's got enough things that at this point he should be safe. Should is the word, of course, right? I mean, as Topplife took down Trinex for his 7th crystal. So, I mean, unless something kind of catastrophic happens here for Zelga, it does look like he's going to be the first to Ganon at the very least. Now, I was mentioning something catastrophic because we're going into the room where, you can actually despawn the whole tower here. Zelga didn't do it, so hey, good job there.
Yes. Yeah, of course, Zelga at this point not bothering to open up any more chests. There's nothing else that could possibly help him in the Ganon fight upcoming. He's got 14 hearts. He's got Tempered Sword, which is probably the most important, and we've got all 4 bottles. So I don't think there's anything else that he cares about, other than I want to finish the game right now.
Definitely, because I mean, like he's got to be seeing the time there. It's at 140, and just not a whole lot of seeds in this tournament go to 140 where you're still and you still win them.
Yeah.
So like he probably in his head he's just going, okay, I gotta get my butt moving here. So into the Aga 2 fight here, we're gonna try to reflect 6 balls in here. Oh, that's a terrible first pattern. Still got
it looks like he still got double hidden. That's definitely pretty difficult.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that looked like another double here, and he's going to set up on top and hopefully not get blue balled. Got one more on him here, so one more should do it for Zelga. And yeah, down goes Aga 2.
Yeah, it looks like Topplife, though, is going to take probably the more traditional route that we kind of used to seeing. Do Hope Room. There's no small key. Just go full left. And unfortunately, because we know that the big key is behind Ice Armos, it looks like Toplife's going to spend a little bit more time, at least in GT basement as compared to Zelga.
Yeah, I mean, with it being hard mode here, we can't even say that, oh, maybe Toplife's going to find silvers or anything, because those just don't exist in a seed like this.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing the difference that the red boomerang is going to make versus the blue boomerang. Definitely much more difficult to control in these couple rooms.
Okay, so Zelga's setting up for the one-on-one here. Got Ganon in a pretty good position there. Gonna just slam on him here from this spot. Try to get the 12 hits that he needs here with the Tempered Sword to move him on into the next phase. Took a fire bat to the face there, but should be okay.
Yeah, Zelga's sitting here with 14 hearts. This is like 10 more hearts normally than you come in with on a normal Ganon fight. Fire Fast, we just saw it does 4 hearts of damage. Ganon force himself does 8, but given that Zelga can take multiple fire bat hits, especially on these later phases where they only do 2 hearts of damage, he should be pretty safe in terms of not dying. At this point, the main danger is getting knocked off the platform, in which case you lose a lot of time and because you can restart your Ganon fight.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, like, even at this point, I think there's a pretty good chance that even if there is a Ganon fall or a Ganon death here on Zelga's side, he should still probably have enough time to still take this here as he gets Torch Glitch. So not going to have to worry about having to manage his torches while he's taking care of Ganon here.
Yeah, and if, certainly we do see Zelga with half magic. It's probably not the magic management at this point. Is the fact that if you get Torch Glitch, you have enough time to do these triple swordless spins or silverless spins, as opposed to kind of go back and forth, and you really only have time to do 2 at a time.
Right, and it looks like Zelga's at least halfway through his fight right now. Trying to get that first hit on that one triple there. Looks like he didn't quite get it, but should have Ganon down within the next 2 seconds. And there he goes. That is Ganon exploding. Get your GGs into chat for Zelga there. He's holding his sword up in the air. Gonna have to cross this line, go through the doorway, and we can go ahead and say that zelgadissan is moving on here, winning Group F there. He's finished in first place today with an official race time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 30 seconds there.
Congratulations, Zelga. Ran one heck of a race to make it through.
Yeah, and
do you think Zelga's just kind of like chilling, No big,
I think he's like
deal?
right. I think he can come up if he wants to come talk to us. It's up to him.
You're right. Why are we here speculating? We could just ask Zelga himself. Hi, Zelga. GG's.
Hi, GG's.
So, how are you feeling?
Oh my god, so stressed out. That I was just debating in my head, do you want to go to Eastern or do you want to go to Caneless Mire? And man, did I make the wrong choice. Jesus.
I mean, there was so much in the seed where it's just like try to make the right choice. It was a rough one, but
you did get a temper sword out of Swamp.
That's true. It wasn't for nothing, but oh man, it felt really bad getting baited so hard by that mirror.
I mean, thing is, both you and Top ended up kind of getting baited the same way. Because I mean, to be completely honest, I got baited by it too. I was calling the Kane in Swamp Palace, and then I was really surprised it wasn't there. So that just goes to show you there that so when you found those flippers there off of the magic bat there, what was your initial reaction to that?
So literally the entire time I'm doing like all the mirror checks on my way up to the Smith chain, I'm saying, why am I not in Eastern? It's obviously in Eastern. Why am I not doing Eastern? And then I got the flippers and it was just fine. I have to hard commit to this now because I was pretty sure that Top would have been to Eastern long before me, but talking to him in the race room, it did not even cross my mind that he might have gone there without a bow. So that is a interesting experience.
And with that, it looks like topplife has gone ahead and put in a forfeit after Zelga finished here. Go ahead, make sure you get your GGs into chat there for topplife, who's now joining us in the booth there. GGs there, Top.
Yeah, GG's Top.
GG's, man. What a rough series. And all 3 races had something really kind of off to them, I think.
Yeah, my fate was kind of sealed there the moment I got Dark World access. Like, everything in their light world before Dark World access pretty much went against me, and then also when Armos Knight actually had something, there's not much I can do from that point. Unless I take the risk to go back for one item.
That seemed to be the theme of the seed, especially towards the end, where pretty much all of the location checks were, do you want to go to this one far-off location for one check, or do you want to go to this other location for one check? I did see that both of you ended up going back into Left Side Swamp for one check.
Oh yeah, I so wanted to skip it, but it's like it had to be one of the two mirror checks, pretty much. I just had to hope that Zelga didn't, for some reason, dip into mire. That could bail me out, but I so wanted to skip it, but it had to be one of the mirror checks from my point of view.
Yeah, no, it made sense, and you kind of nailed it there, Top. Doing the spectacle rock skip there really put you behind the 8 ball. You spent most of the seed chasing down Zelga there. You would pull up ahead, pull up pretty close to him there, and then he would take off again. It was Zelga definitely kind of had the advantage there from that early pearl.
Yeah.
But you know,
I did
still
so much small cutting after that because I knew I probably was like 3 minutes behind at least. So I just took cuts everywhere. I didn't check the Turtle Rock medallion to save some seconds there. I didn't check all of Village of Outcast the first trip there to save some second there on my second trip. And I had those all the time. Maybe I should have gambled on the flipper checks out of logic just to see if I could get the lucky hammer or something, and in this case it would have been even better because then I would have gotten a bottle.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we remember your sentiment when you found the boots on Kid.
It's like I didn't jump into Thieves Town to save some seconds there the first trip either, so I could full clear it with much more calm. Yeah, that I could full clear it more easily without, at a better point to clear it. Saying that. So the bottle's there to make another trip around the world. Nothing worked out. My small skips.
Well, you're not eliminated yet by any means, so you're gonna have to wait for the matchup there between Ninjembro and Scholzer to find out exactly who else is getting out of this unbelievable group here. But Zelga, you're moving on into the brackets. How are you feeling there?
Pretty good. This was, in my opinion, maybe the hardest group. Like, I think there's also one with Hitzian, Bonta, Walter. There was an Ack and Blaine, and like there were some terrible groups in this. But I am very happy to have made it out. I think all 4 people in this group could have easily made it out. So being one of them, I'm pretty excited.
Well, you get a week off here to kind of maybe not to de-stress from these amazing series here. It's been a ton of fun from Clear Mouse and my perspective to be a part of there. Probably not as much fun for you guys to race it. Probably kind of stressful.
Yeah, I would like to give you guys a special shout out. Thank you for doing the commentary for all 3 of these races. It's amazing. I've watched them back and I've loved being able to take part in it. And so thank you so much for taking the time to kind of work it into your schedules for us, because I know Top and I both really appreciate this.
Indeed.
Oh no, we I mean, at least from our perspective, this was a ton of fun to do, and we were really happy to do so. So really do very much appreciate you guys also being pretty accommodating in terms of scheduling. So Days and I can also take part of this. I mean, 4 time zones really is not easy to organize.
Yeah, I realize that I'm the one who kind of makes things a whole bunch of problematic there. So thank you to you guys for trying to get this at times where we could be a part of it. This has just been a ton of fun from start to finish, pretty much. And yeah, no, I can't wait to see more races from both of you.
Yeah, and I didn't want to neglect B-Links on tracking either, because I know they did yesterday's tracking too, so greatly appreciated. And certainly good luck to Top, because I know whoever comes out of this race that's about to start up, it's going to be a tough race. So good luck, and looking forward to catching you in the brackets.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely. Best of luck to you, Top.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
sit down, maybe with some popcorn and watch that race that starts now.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, yeah. So it is coming up at 12:10 on SpeedGaming 4 and Jim Pro versus Schultzer. This is also at Game 3, so winner does take on Top-Life. This is not going to be an easy series to come out of, as Zelga and Top-Life and Days have all said.
Yeah, no, so yeah, pretty much probably right after this, if you're looking for more rando, Speed Gaming 4 is going to have that race. There's also going to be another race here in just over an hour there on Speed Gaming 5. It's got OC versus Kappa in a game 2. So we're not exactly shying away from the big names today. Like, it's going to be some really, really good races coming up all down the schedule today. You got races going, I think, until like something like 9 p.m. tonight, and they're all fantastic.
oh yeah, so certainly the weekend is probably more prime time for a lot of people to get their races in this weekend. Today especially is no exception. We have races going on, I think 12:10, 1:10, 2:10, looks like 3:10, 6. If we do we can maybe get like a afternoon dinner break or something, and then we start up again at 6:10, 7:10, 8:10. I mean, so rando on the hour pretty much every hour.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead, make sure to give these runners a follow if you could, because I mean it's been an amazing 3-game set to watch between them. Also follow all the Speed Gaming channels there if you're looking for more rando, because like Clear Mouse mentioned, there's rando all day today. And yeah, other than that, big shout outs. I probably we didn't thank him earlier there, but big shout outs to our tracker B-Links today for being a part of yesterday's seed and today's. Trackers are a huge part of this community, and if anybody is interested in volunteering and being a part of this, there is a command here that should show up here in chat in just a moment, where you can get involved as well and kind of help us out, and maybe even take my job. I mean, whatever you want there. We can kind of go from there. But yeah, no, we're gonna have a bunch left over going on for the rest of the day, so stay tuned. Clear Mouse, as always, thank you for being a part of this. And
oh yeah, no, thank you so much, Days. It's always fun talking to you, talking with you about, and of course, Zelga and Top-Life. Thank you so much for putting on such a fantastic series. Very, very much fun. We were all, kind of worried initially that there wasn't going to be enough action for us, so we're gonna have to like spice things up a bit. But you guys both delivered. So thanks for making our jobs, very, very easy.
And I guess with that, we should probably shut her down for the night. Well, shut her down for the day at least. I mean, okay, night for me, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. So of course, thanks to SpeedGaming for letting us host this, and have a great rest of the day, and be sure and watch more rando.